What kind of stuff are they giving you the most trouble about in terms of censorship? Is nudity or
like
language?
waking up?
Just getting out of bed in the morning?
They just have it in their minds that they want to hire somebody, but they don't want any communication made. You know, they want to like make you into something. I don't know. It's like, I guess it goes into white homes. They're worried about that a lot.
What do they? Yeah, you know, it's funny. Gwen Barrett, our associate producer, or sometime producer, is black. You know, and Carmen Matias is Hispanic.
You have to be colored to be on television. You can't,
yeah, colored.
Yes, you can't be black. You have to have a little colored in there, just a taste.
Tad.
Yeah, just to keep it interesting for America.
Yeah. Well, she said, and we were talking about your humor, that your humor offends white people, and I'm not that easily offended. Like, I'm not coming from a spot where Richard Pryor is going to offend me. I think you have humor that makes us see a lot of the truth and laugh at things we wouldn't normally laugh at. I think that's part of what you're doing. What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Oh wow, I've been talking for this long with no voice. No, it's good. It's good. It's good. So let's actually start. So what we're gonna do today is go over a video from Midas Touch. We're going back to the same old well, and that well is us gonna be talking about MAGA regret and how MAGA regret is something where it's just universal and people are starting to wake up. Oh my goodness, they're starting to get woke. So let's go to this Midas Touch video and see how an ex-MAGA has a message for Trump. He lied? What? No. Let's go.
PBD, here's the kicker. Where do these people get their information? Lower propensity voters get information on TikTok. Mm-hmm. They're not watching CNN. They're not sitting, you know why? These folks are darn tired by the time they get home. They're not turning on cable news. They're watching NFL football games. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that are not going to be able to quote to you, Marbury. They're not, by the way.
It's also this.
Yeah, it's also the phone. So what Donald Trump campaign did is they hacked the 2024 election, not in a way that people would think, where they said, wait a second, everyone has a supercomputer in the right-hand pocket. Why are we worried about what CNN is saying or MSNBC is saying? Why don't we win the information war? And then finally, the kicker. They said, why don't we go on the most ambitious, over-the-top, low-propensity voter communication strategy on Theo Von, Joe Rogan, Nelk Boys, Logan Paul, influencers.
So they're admitting that they lied to you. They are admitting that they were dishonest. They are admitting that, hey, look, we're just going to give you we're going to give you this information to the stupidest people. And I'm not calling them stupid. I'm not calling you stupid if you're a Trump voter. They think that you're stupid. They think that you're not going to want to know more answers. They think that you are going to be somebody who is just going to take the information given to you without checking the information. They think less of you. I personally think that most people that disagree with me don't know enough. Not that they're stupid, it's just that they're ignorant. And they have a bias or a fear that's clouding them from looking into more stuff. But I think they can learn more. And just because you're making decisions because you don't know more doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that you're maybe uninformed. And this is what they're taking advantage of. But let's go.
Strategies, right? And so what they said is there's this whole reservoir. And the final kicker, my mandate at Turning Point was very simple. Charlie, turn Trump supporters into voters. And that's what we did.
Hey, everyone. Rich Lowe just coming to you here with the Midas Touch Network with our Leaving MAGA video series. Got a new testimonial for you today of a lady who was in MAGA like myself, decided to leave. Again, if you're not subscribed to our...
So they have a whole series of people leaving MAGA. Wow. Let's go.
Channel here. Make sure you get subscribed. The lady I met, her name is Patty Ann Giles. And the way that we got introduced and acquainted to each other, I put out on my socials, like I always do, hey, we want to give a chance for those who are in MAGA and left to tell their story. So I want to bring Patty Ann in. She is in Virginia. Patty Ann, how you doing?
Hello, nice to meet you.
Yes.
Oh, look at Patty Ann, somebody's grandma, somebody's Facebook grandma. Let's go.
Same to you. And in case anyone out there is wondering, we're doing a late night video here. Leaving MAGA and Midas Touch. I want to say we don't sleep. We do sleep, but we don't sleep an awful lot. So thank you for being able to join us at a really late hour here. So I want to ask you what it was about the MAGA community that you gravitated to. What was it about MAGA and Trump as a candidate that appealed to you?
Okay, well, I was a Republican for about 35 years.
So right there from the base, she was a Republican. And the thing about it is, what a lot of people, especially the younger people, don't realize that a lot of the political ingrainment started early. And she said it. They latched onto her pre-existing biases and ideas that she had. Let's see how this changes.
Until Trump ran. And what I was starting to get disenchanted with the elitism in the Republican Party. I didn't like the way the war on terror was going. I didn't believe it was meeting its goals, its objectives. I was tired of all the corruption with the status quo in government. And I thought that Donald Trump was an outsider. He was anti-war. He had a populist message that really spoke to me. And I thought that I was ready for somebody like him, who had more in common, I think, with what I believed. And I thought that he would be a good businessman.
So what Gat was getting me about her answer is that, and I said I wasn't going to dog the left. We on the left need to actually make sure we don't seem too foreign, too alien to people who are also voters. We sit back and we say, oh, well, they vote against their own interests. Have you taught them? Have you talked to them? Have you even reached out to find out what their interests are? They believe a billionaire from New Jersey. Yeah, he's from New Jersey. That's going to piss off the editor. Billionaire from New Jersey is more in touch with them than somebody who has the same struggle, the same financial struggle as they do. We're losing the messaging more because I don't want to talk to those people because they're bigots. They want to hate us. They want to unalive us. But you're facilitating your own destruction. Why aren't you trying to talk to them? It took somebody just barely reaching out to them to say, I have your interest in heart, but they don't. The same is with the young man. The same is with, the white folks. Like, some of these people are boats adrift on the political seas. Not saying they don't have their own agencies, but if a flotilla comes and says you part of the group, it's going to be easier than a flotilla that says, no, you part of the enemy. But let's continue.
I listened to his old interviews. I thought he sounded very patriotic. And his message, just populist message, just really spoke to me at the time.
And another thing, too, being patriotic is a way to appeal to American voters. You don't have to say everything the U.S. did in its past is kosher and great and no. If you want America to change, you have to appeal to Americans. You have to. And populism isn't the populism of what have been in years past. Populism now is just say, I hate elites. Never mind the people who know, who studied. All these motherfucking people that, ironically enough, all these young people, these college people are actively saying that we hate elites while they're going to school to be elites. We hate the system, but you're going into the system. Some of them is no more than a tantrum of, I think I'm cooler than my parents. And you see it with this. And then you sit back and say, you hate the elites, you hate you want populism. But you act just as snotty as all the other people that you say you hate. And when people are looking against looking against the elites, looking against the establishment, they're not following you because you also ostracize them. But let's continue. What's up, Miss Keeper?
Time.
As you're saying this, I have this very eerie, to use the old maxim, deja vu all over again. Because so much of what you said was why that was really my entree into MAGA. I was disillusioned with the two parties. I thought they were the same. Yeah, Trump ran as an outsider, or as a Republican rather, but as an outsider, he didn't have any government, any political, any military experience. And I felt like the entire two-party system needed to be obliterated. And he seemed like a guy willing and able to do that. And for that reason, I thought that he was the right guy at the time for the job. And, you know, the reasons that you're bringing up, Patty Ann.
You know what's funny? With not wanting a two-party system, they're, you know, MAGA and conservatives are looking to actually make even less of a choice of having a one-party system on one rule. That's what they want. Like, come on. And then the liberals or the leftists, they are literally like, oh, we don't want just a two-party system, but you don't take time to build up a second party or a third party. You vote Jill Stein and think, oh yeah, I'm going to help the Green Party get up to the 5% threshold. But you don't do anything other than that besides vote for a president, which is like throwing your vote away. God damn, where are your candidates? Where are the Green Party candidates? I vote every election and I see like one or two Green Party local candidates. And they have no promotion behind them, no knocking on doors, no commercials, no online interviews. It just says, oh, Green Party. But let's continue.
I know for those who are very strongly anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, which I understand, I think one of the misconceptions amongst those who are very anti-MAGA is this sense that everyone supported Trump because of some of his statements about immigrants and about women. I knew that those were indefensible statements, but I also thought that the other side was infinitely worse. So I looked the other way. And
you know what? The problem with this, and I'm going to say it, you know, Destiny hit that shit right, where people, it's not that they don't know Trump is bad. They just think the other side is just as worse or worse. That's the problem. They think that, yes, we know Trump is bad, but the Democratic establishments, they're weak, or they do like not good things, like it came up on the screen. And a lot of that is lies, of course. You know, Charlie Kirk said at the beginning of this video, a lot of it is lies, but it's also, one, the DNC not putting out their message, not being braggadocious because they think it's uncouth or brash. And it's also leftists talking shit on the internet. Oh, Biden didn't do genocide Joe, genocide Kamala, which, like, literally, that's not the extent, of what's happening with the wars across the world. And even shit that's just like total lies. Oh, Donald Trump is gonna want peace. No, he's not. We know what he did. It was just 4 years ago. 5 years ago. This man dropped bombs on an allied country because reasons. But let's go.
Because I looked the other way, yes, that was part of why I eventually left MAGA, but I just looked at Trump coming in and thinking, you know, this is the kind of person needed for the job at this moment. And I think that there are a lot of people who overlook the fact that there were some anodyne, non-controversial reasons and some valid, good reasons for supporting Trump, right? You know, jobs going overseas, communities hollowed out. Were there some specific issues that were brought up that he mentioned on the campaign? And
here's the thing. It goes to that populist things. And yeah, we seeing like some on the left are saying like, yeah, my problem isn't MAGA. His problem is conservatives. It's the establishment. And it's like, you do know that they were lying to you. You do know that we had an experience of him not actually doing this shit that he said he was going to do the first time. As a matter of fact, people know, oh, he was just lying that time. You know, like, y'all remember the shit that he did, right? Right. You think it's going to be different now? You think the 78-year-old or however old he is going to change his ways when he already has 1.5 foot in the grave? Because you remember he had a stroke while he was president. He just had a little aneurysm. He had a stroke. They call those strokes. Hey, let's go.
Campaign that you felt like really resonated with you and made you someone who said, okay, I'm going to support Trump. I'm all in right now.
Well, the economy was part of it. And I think more so on the issue of taxes. And that's why I'd supported the Republican Party for so many years.
And so here's another thing. So many people think that conservatives have a problem with paying taxes. Everybody has a problem with paying taxes. I'm going to say this. The thing about it is liberals or leftists, they don't have a problem with paying taxes if it means healthcare. You know, they look in and say like, well, if I pay taxes and I want to pay my private insurance, you know, certain things like that, pay taxes and, you know, people can actually eat food or have cheaper housing. But the conservatives also don't mind paying taxes if it means keeping themselves safe from the bad countries around the world. How much I hate to say because it's overused. There are less differences than there are agreements. But the problem is messaging. It's messaging. If you communicate to people that you wouldn't have to worry about people actually, you know, being so criminally criminal active, if more people actually had homes and they weren't living in desperation and fear of the next meal or a doctor's bill. That's why we need to actually do these big social programs. Do you know how many people, if you turned it into a national security issue, do you know how many people will fall for that? And generally, it is a national security issue when you have a country where most people are unstable, they don't have job security, don't have food security. That's a national security issue because you get people that, I don't know, learn how to write on little small pieces of brass casings. You get issues where people are, you know, willingly making jokes to, you know, insurance companies on the phone about deny, defend, or, you know, delay. Those are national security issues that need to be taken care of. An unstable society is an insecure society. But let's go.
Is because I believe the Democrats were tax and spend and creating an environment of government dependency. So Trump spoke to me in that respect, that I believed I was going to get a tax cut and that he was going to streamline government and trim a lot of waste and abuse. And that was very important to me.
And here's the thing too. When it comes to private corporations, the last thing they are efficient. People think that the ease of doing stuff with a corporation means that it's efficient, but they don't see the behind the scenes stuff that just, you know, nixes other people being able to just access the services. I've worked in customer service and for 20 years, call center work for 15 years. Cool. They get a lot of call center customer service representatives. Give you the answer quick, fast, and dirty. But they just giving you the answer. They're not resolving your issues like you want them to resolve it, because those rules have already been in place. And most of the real rules are screw whoever's calling in. This is the policy that you need to go by. I say one of the biggest stresses that I actually had is morally knowing what's right, knowing what the policy says, and having to deal with, it's not even the customers, it's having to deal with the customers based on the rules that we actually have. Business is not efficient. Business is not tailored towards you. They may think it. You may think it because you at least don't have to fight for the no. But I would rather have the protection of a government death panel than a private insurance death panel. You know, the ones that they had, the ones that they still have. You cost us too much money, so we ain't going to take care of this care. They do that. They used to have lifetime limits. But things need to be ran like a business. No, they don't. A business, and people know this. People know that a business will get rid of you if it costs $1 to keep you, and they make 10 cents on getting rid of you. They will go for that 10 cents in a second. But let's continue.
Do you feel like some of those beliefs within the Republican Party and what was championed, do you feel like some of those have been proven to be inaccurate since? Because I want to read something actually that you posted in November of 2019.
Okay.
And here's what it was, a tweet that you put out there. And your tweet was, the biggest threat to MAGA is not coming from the left. It's coming from fake Trump supporters who tell you what you want to hear, but don't tell you the whole story. There's a large movement of phony right-wing branders who are getting paid by the globalists to fool you. And again,
they call those Trump supporters actual Trump supporters. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. Elon Musk is not looking out for the average man. He got a few cases. There's a reason why he hates tort reform. Because he screws over his employees. Peter Thiel, oh, thank God for PayPal. But there are other things that he uses to screw people over. So let's continue.
That sounds like me. You know, I look at that, I read that tweet, and I think that's something I did right. Maybe I didn't use not verbatim, but I made those exact kinds of comments about elitists and about globalists. In fact, I've always said that is in some cases, perhaps even more than Democrats, we in the MAGA community, we despised anti-Trump Republicans and conservatives. And you know, one guy, for example, I've gotten to know recently, actually over the last several months, is Adam Kinzinger. And I told Adam after I apologized to him, I said, we hated you in MAGA. And there are others, but we viewed, just like these, as you called them at the time, fake, phony right-wing branders, these were individuals we felt like were actually traitors to the cause. If you weren't with us, you were against us. And if you were 99...
If you wasn't with us, you was against us. If you weren't with us, you was against us. 20 points if you know who that's from.
9% with us as a Republican or conservative, you were 0% with us. So that tweet, again, November 2019. So what happened? What were some moments that served as the catalyst for your eventual leaving? And what was that process like for you? Moments, occurrences, how long did it take you to leave? Get into the real specifics here, because I think that this particular part of the story, viewers really want to know, what was it that eventually led you to exit?
Okay, the pandemic was the tipping point for me.
Which I think a lot of people still forget how serious that was. I really think a lot of people forget how serious it was. We came out better than a lot of countries, but a lot of people did and still are dying from COVID-19. A lot of long-term health effects are happening from that. And I just, I can't press it. I think that probably my diagnosis was a long-term health effect. And for the most part, I worked from home, and then I got back in the office, and yeah, I got both RSV and COVID-19 within a span of a month. It's a serious thing. But let's continue.
I have a medical background, and what I was seeing, in a nutshell, was dangerous disinformation, not only about the pandemic, but about other issues as well, all started to make sense to me. It all started coming together. I think I've been fooled. So that would have been probably like, I guess, early 2020. And I was seeing a lot of pandemic disinformation being promoted on the right. And that concerned me. And being in the medical field, I was seeing people and knowing of cases, people not getting vaccinated, not wearing masks, not social distancing. And we were losing a couple thousand people a day.
That's got to be so sad, like for real. I have family that have worked in the medical field. Thankfully, not while the pandemic was happening, but just like seeing people that they've cared for that's gone, like that was, yeah, it's kind of like it's a toll that happens to you. But let's go.
These treatments, these unproven treatments like hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin and all this, well, people were taking those in lieu of proven treatments. And I was very, very concerned about my fellow Americans. So keeping with the disinformation thing.
And again, this is what I'm talking about. This whole America bad type stuff doesn't work to win you elections in America. I'm sorry. The left should be the most patriotic version of all the people that's here. We should say that no, we're better than what the CIA did in the 1970s and 80s. Our country's stronger now. We don't need to do that. Just the aura, the riz that we give as Americans, that we have the best culture, allows us not to have to do the underhanded, sneaky shit that we used to do. We shouldn't have communism. We should have super capitalism. We should make it that we're going to do it so well that money's not going to mean nothing to other people. Money's not going to mean anything to us because we are taking care of our people so well. Global police? We the global EMT. We are taking care of the world that there would need to be wars. Far is the Progressive Party from the FDR. Speak softly but carry a big stick. It's just disheartening to me. When we have the tools in this country to make this country better as a leftist, and we sit back and listen to some of the biggest political streams that say America bad. Whatever country that the West it was for, then whoever's the opposite is the good guys. We have a built-in base of people that want to be the most American Americans. And we shit on it because America bad. Fuck out of here.
One thing led to another. And as I started to do more research on the people who were promoting pandemic disinformation, and I'm talking about the political hacks mostly here, I started to realize that I believed things that weren't true in other areas as well.
You know, again, I'm going to reiterate this point and forgive my repeating this, but the pandemic was part of the reason I left also. There were moments within my time in the MAGA community where I was with fellow MAGA Americans, and we did harshly criticize and censure the president privately. And the pandemic management was one of those moments. We knew just how much he was botching leading. You know, even giving some benefit of the doubt that there's no way anyone could have fully controlled what was happening. But to your point, going up and giving medical advice as someone who's not a doctor, shunning people who had medical expertise that had been, who were in the medical and health fields for decades. You're reminding me of another testimonial.
So before he gets to this point, I do want to say this. This is what I'm talking about earlier. This whole populism thing is giving way to just idiocracy. Both the movie and the concept. There are people who spend their lives studying things, who devote their time studying things, studying, the germ theory of disease, studying nuclear physics, studying geology, studying history, studying social science. There are people who take their time, take their effort, take their lives' work to study this. And the problem with populism is it never differentiates the people who are elite because they take their time and the people that were just born with it. It's you're elite, you're elite, you're elite. No matter how you got to elite status, you're still the elite, so fuck you. It for everybody but sports people. Like for real. Everybody but sports people. They hate the elite. And even then they kind of get kind of questionable about it, you know what I'm saying? Don't let you be in any other entertainment besides sports. Then it gets really crazy. Hollywood does, like, yes, Hollywood does produce but it's not the only, media apparatus that we have or town that we have. The media apparatus, like, some stuff is shot in New York, Atlanta, Chicago, but it's this elite. I'm going against the elite. Why? Because they're elite. It's just so freaking stupid. But let's go.
We had a lady named Stefania Messina, who also in the healthcare industry, and just like with she started to take a closer look and inspect what was happening with the pandemic. So for me, that was also a key moment. And the catalyst for me, I would say, that really accelerated was my leaving of MAGA was really Ron DeSantis, my governor, because I thought that he handled the pandemic pretty well in the first year and a half. And then all of a sudden he's got anti-vaxxers at his press conferences. And he's talking about Fauciism, and he eventually starts talking about biomedical security state. And I never believed COVID was a bioweapon, and I've never been anti-vaccine. So Ron DeSantis, when he did that, it confused me.
It's SARS. It's like literally SARS too. I know why the community actually got rid of the SARS naming convention, because it, South Asian respiratory violence, it kind of lives the infamy of the people where it's just SARS too. And so I'm like, SARS is a very bad thing, but it broke the stigma of the location, which the international scientific community, if anything, they try to be as unbiased as they can. But it was something that we knew about. It was something that it didn't just magically come out of anywhere. It was a mutation of a actual virus that we knew was bad stuff. We knew it was bad stuff before it even hit the mark. It hit the streets. It's SARS too, literally. But people actually, because it was new and it sounded like there was a scare in China for SARS because of a freaking cult actually tried to release it on a train like a decade or so ago, or maybe longer. We know what it was. It wasn't new. It just didn't come out of nowhere. It's something that we had been looking and we have been testing to try to see if we can actually not prove, but predict. Same as H1. And that was an oldie but a goodie, because that was just the freaking Spanish flu. We know this stuff just comes out of it. It wasn't just out of nowhere. And of course, Trump dismantled the pandemic emergency response team because black man bad. But let's go.
And what I did, and I want to ask you about this point, as soon as my doubts commenced after Ron DeSantis, I diversified my news and information sources. So because I was fully right.
And if you have an issue with making sure that you're missing a news spot. I want you to introduce the ground. No, I don't have a ground news segment, but like, yeah, it's actually always good to try to get news sources, sources from more than just one person. I know I do it because I have this job, so I have to look at some other stuff. But no, in your personal life, you should actually get news sources from multiple different places and not just one or one streamer. I'm looking at y'all who just sit back in a chat of a streamers just to say, "Oh, you're great." No, stop. Please stop. Please get your news sources from more than just one place.
Right-wing media. I was consuming it. I lived in the comments. I was also writing for it. I have bylines in places like Fox News and The Federalist and some others. Was that the case with you? Were you consuming just right-wing media? You were in the echo bubble. You were in the information silo. Talk about that a little bit, because I feel like you mentioned disinformation. I just think that fuels so much of the lies and the mis and disinformation.
Yeah, so that would be like Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Jack Posobiec, Ian Miles Chung, Charlie Kirk.
The sad part about it is Ian Miles Chung isn't even in the U.S. He ain't even in the U.S. All right, let's go.
A lot of material that came from Turning Point USA. A lot of the Fox News reporters. Sarah Carter, I believe was her name. Mike Cernovich.
Wow, that's a name that I've heard in a while.
Just any of the pro-Trump influencers I followed.
You know, and I'm thinking about all those names because I also followed many of them. And something that I liberatingly but painfully realized when I made the decision to leave MAGA is that pretty much everything that I believed was a lie. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say that everything, those individuals you mentioned, that everything is a lie, but the vast, vast majority of what they say, they actually don't vet. There was just a United Nations study that just came out, and in that study, it inspected and looked at lots of influencers, and not just on the right, but on the left as well. And yes, while there were some on the left, the vast majority of the ones the UN studied were on the right wing and showed that they don't vet anything that they say. And something else that I came to realize is that when you look at these mythologies that exist within MAGA and the Republican Party, Donald Trump and the Republican politicians, they take their cues from those influencers, from the media. It's not the other way around. It's not that President-elect Trump calls up, for example, Charlie Kirk at Turning Point and says, okay, I want you to say this and this and this at your events. That's not what happens. It's that Trump is getting his talking points from the Charlie Kirks and the Alex Joneses and the Tucker Carlsons.
Didn't they say Trump used to actually just watch Fox News for like hours on end? Like somebody's old doddering grandpa? I mean, like, I know he's somebody's old doddering grandpa, but still, like, he used to spend like hours on end just watching Fox News in the morning.
These were, especially a guy like Tucker Carlson, he was massively influential when I was in the MAGA community. And we didn't even like Fox News that much. Even Fox News was regarded as MSNBC or CNN light. Yeah, we thought it was better than those networks, but we weren't that enamored with Fox, but Tucker Carlson, we were. So you're in the echo chamber. You're consuming all this media. How did you start to come out of that? What did you do that made you start to question some of your beliefs, and you started to think, okay, is that actually true? I have this workshop I'm developing called "Where Did You Hear That?" And I'm thinking about, if you were still in MAGA and I met you now, I would ask you, where did you hear that? So how'd you get out of that? Because I feel like part of leaving MAGA is also leaving behind that right-wing echo chamber.
All right, let's see how can we reach these people. Let's go.
Yeah, well, with the pandemic being my impetus to search out better information, I just taught myself to fact check. And I made a conscious effort to leave that right-wing bubble, mind bubble, and to seek out other sources of information. Now, I'm not saying that if, that left sources are always right, always correct. But I did try to diversify my content that I was using as information to inform and to fact check. So I just researched some tips on vetting media sources, how to tell if a source is biased. I use Ad Fontes as a guide for media bias. And I just was very careful then about what I allowed myself to believe. I approached media sources and content creators with much more skepticism during and after the pandemic.
Yeah, this is so common in our
So, and this isn't something that just is good for MAGA supporters. Also, us on the left, you should take a diet of learning about what right-wing people says. One, to reinforce your point to why it's wrong, or to get some nuggets of truth. Because remember, even a turd may have kernels of truth in it. And clean it up and use it for yourself. If your beliefs are right and you're strong in your beliefs, other than that's wrong. But let's continue.
testimonials we do here at Midas Touch Network for those who leave. And all of us, and it's not hyperbolic to say this, we were consuming essentially the same media. So we all thought alike. We all said the same. I remember in the community, if there was any information that even remotely refuted the pervasively held beliefs and mythologies, we would shun it. It was kept out because any media we did not read or watch was considered what I used to call the Democrat media industrial complex. That was a phrase that I actually used. And I believed it at the time. Just like your beliefs, they were sincerely held until we started to realize, you know what, this actually doesn't sound true because I just read in a different source.
And so that's another thing too. There are people that generally believe this. There are people who actually believe what's going on. It's not just some lie that they know they're lying, and so they're lying to me and they're just doing it to make me mad. There are people who actually believe this. But let's go.
That it's inaccurate. And this all seems so simple to just say, okay, I'm gonna mix up and diversify my news and information sources. But it had a profound and positive impact on my life, and I could tell that it did for you as well.
Mhm.
So what I want to ask you here in closing is, I left MAG in August of 2022, and I didn't think anyone would care. That's the God's honest truth. And I spent the next year just telling my story until the idea for leaving MAGA, our organization, started to congeal. Why do you want to tell your story? What is it that you hope to get out of telling your story, and what is it that you want others to take away from your testimonial here?
Speaking to people who are still in MAGA. Yes. I would like to tell them that they're being deceived. And what they believe and what they support is to the benefit of the very people that they claim to be against, like elitists and the wealthy and white supremacists. I hate to say it, but it seems to be the case that the agenda is extreme, that you have the Christian nationalists trying to superimpose their extreme beliefs on people, racist, sexism. And that's not what I believed the Republican Party stood for. And I didn't believe conservatism stands for that either. So, yeah, I think my message is that they're being deceived, and they need to start really considering how their decisions affect others and not just themselves.
Yeah, I appreciate that you're taking
So, and, we're gonna cut off there. It's pretty much, them just saying back and forth that, yeah, people are being lied to. And quite frankly, I know it's fun to MAGA regret. I participated in doing shit. I'm gonna continue to participate in it too. And it's fun to actually see, like, especially the Dark Brandon YouTube channel. But in the end, the message is clear. We're all gonna have to suffer through this shit. And they're gonna be people who are gonna realize, hey, we're all fucked. And they're gonna need somebody to be able to grab their hands, like, come over to our side. And we're gonna have to accept them. There are gonna be people that's gonna be willing to not just come over to our side, but change some of their beliefs. Maybe not all, but some of their beliefs. And that's gonna be okay, because they're gonna want to build this country and make this country better. You gotta remember, these are Americans along with us. Sorry for my international viewers, but they're going to want to make their country better. The key is getting an understanding, making it better for everybody makes it better for them as well. But anyway, whatever you guys think, leave a comment down below, like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to cut this video segment here. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I have to go pee. Yeah, that was a thing. So yeah, no, it's just one of those things where it's just I think that we need to be better with reaching out and getting people on our side. And I think that a few people they're hurt. A few people are hurt. I'm just looking at the title of it. They're hurt, they're scared, and they don't want to ally with people that are representative of those who may have hurt them. And that's cool, great. But in the end, you're just making more enemies. And this isn't like the whole all MAGA are our friends now, all conservatives are our friends now. No, you still want to come to my side. Not on everything, but you have to come on my side on certain stuff. You have to come to my side on empathy. Like the thing is, if you can come to my side on empathy, I can get you on a lot of different shit. Empathy is gonna be, we hate the establishment. We hate populism. Like, no, come to my side on empathy. If you can actually put yourself in the shoes of other people, I got you on a lot of shit. And it's not even, I'm not even saying it's a trick, but it is a trick, but it's not a trick. It is, damn. I may want to say the N-word. I may want to just be like, oh yeah, those N-words over there, they just, but man, they struggling like I'm struggling. You know, they trying to sell kilos of, marijuana. I'm trying to sell kilos of heroin. Like, we still trying to feed our family in the end. Like, no, like, if I can get you on empathy and a little bit of trust, where it's, yeah, we I get that you need to make money, and we can make sell in different little markets, and maybe we can actually both get like, yeah. But this whole like, oh yeah, the cons want you no longer alive or existing. I say, like, this is one of the reasons why I just was like, I don't care about the gender stuff. I don't care if you trans or not. Like, if somebody came up and told me you have to be just like this in order to fit in, I'm gonna look at them crazy. Somebody told me, oh, you gonna have to put a penis in your mouth in order to be, and like, what is wrong with you? That's, I figured, like, I wouldn't want somebody to telling me how to express who I am. Why should I worry about expressing? But what about the children? Like, kids have been doing shit that their parents ain't liked since kids. Are they hurting other people? No. Then why is there a problem? But shouldn't men be men and women be women? I don't give a fuck. Are they forcing themselves on other people? No. Now, do I have a problem with people being dishonest about maybe past identities they have? Yes. Give somebody the opportunity to say no. Give somebody the opportunity to respectfully say no. It's just one of those craziest things. It's just like, well, it shouldn't matter to you. Yeah, it does matter to people. Some people don't like peanut butter. Some people love peanut butter. Some people like chocolate. Some people like peanut butter. Not everybody's like a peanut bit Reese's cup. Like, for real. Give our people the opportunity. Well, I don't even seem that way anymore. Like, cool, great. But give people opportunities to actually make an informed decision about who you are, who you once were. Man, did you know that I used to go around cutting off people's toes, but I don't want to be seen that way no more? Wait, what? Yeah, no, I don't want to be seen that way no more. But you get people, no, I don't care. Like, no, give people opportunity to be that way. To just be informed. And change society that it's not a stigma. It may still matter. Things can matter to people without it being a stigma. Work to change society so people can actually not feel like they lost something because they have desires about certain shit that they less of because they have desires about certain. Work to change society on that. Don't just do one acceptance. Do acceptance on everything, except for people that hurt other people or take advantage. Like, yeah, that's a big thing. Now, if you know, CNC, that's a different story, but those take agreements and arrangements. If you don't know what CNC means, then, like, God bless you. Aren't you precious? Oh my God. Now, I don't have a video for this, and so I just want to talk about it. I don't have a video for this, so if this comes out as a clip later, depending on if I want to put out in the clip, I don't have a clip talking about it. So there have been we're just gonna say it. TIT has been in the middle of a fiery shitstorm from Jank actually trying to buddy up with MAGA, the whole thing with Adam Kasparian. I know Icon in the Discord server and his channel, go ahead and check it out, has really been championing the whole Anna thing, and I have a little bit of a nuanced take. And this kind of goes with the other video that we did. I've never shied away from the whole phrase that a lot of you motherfuckers on the left, the only reason why you on the left is because y'all on the outs with a certain group. And if y'all have the same thinking, the same mentality as people that are conservative or even MAGA, but y'all on the outs of those groups, and if those groups show you a little bit of acceptance, a little bit of, all right, you can be part of the group for right now, motherfuckers wouldn't be on the left. Why am I bringing that up? Is because the opposite is true. A lot of what's going on with TYT is that, and I'm going to say it, and I know it's going to piss some people off, but, you know, they feel that some of the social issues you can actually not be as vocal on as people want you to be vocal on in order to get some steps that we need to get. And I'm not, definitely they didn't do it perfectly. I don't want you to say it perfectly. What they're clumsily doing is it's just like, yo, why you alienate this group of people? We need this group in order to push what appears and is in some cases people looking after their own personal interests in order to advance a specific cause. Now, I am nowhere saying that I know the perfect balance of putting, you know, people of colors issues, trans people, gay people's, you know, issues in a perfect balance with, you know, economic issues. Yeah, I will never admit to being that smart. And the problem is no one on the left is actually trying to be that smart either. Follow me. Earlier this, you know, this month, maybe November, we collectively had a oh my God moment with Westside Tyler's videos. I'm gonna cover his video later. Where he was just like, yeah, dust yourself off, stop doing like, and it's the thing about it is the left is such a big tent. It's such a big tent where it's like people have their own personal issues where they want this done, they want that done, they want this recognized, they want that recognized. And it's outside of the bubble of what conservative issues want. And I'm not gonna sit back and tell you guys, oh, we should all work together and hold hands, and like, no, certain things need to be pushed at certain times. But no one on the left is actually doing organizations to actually push issues. I was watching something and I didn't feel like finishing earlier, but should we put black issues in front? Should we put trans issues in front? Should we put gay people's issues in front? Should we put, you know, immigrants' issues in front? Yes, all. But we have so many people under this big tent movement that is disorganized, that it is petty in a lot of cases. We have people who don't want to bow the knee like you see in the mostly hierarchical conservative / right-wing type. And we also see so many people that are self-absorbed, that sit back and say that I'm important. Look at me. I look at my subscriber count. Look at who I am. Look at my research. Look at what I feel. Look at my community. And miss the message of how do we make this better? And the reason why it's, you know, most prevalent with TYT is they are leftist in certain things, they're conservative in other things, and there was audience, they fought against audience capture And then you have other people who are so audience captured, and it's just like, are what they're doing wrong? And are they starting to move outside of just the, we need to be online and we need to cater to our audience? Yeah, fuck yeah, of course. Is it people becoming more conservative with age? Kind of, but no. That's one of the things that always kind of gets me about that phrase. You see the people who have no money saying we need to get rid of all the money. It's like, all right, cool, great, fun, yeah. But humans have always needed currency. Humans have always needed to have some measure of what they appear to be fairness in order to live in a society. You're not going to get rid of currency. We're going to make a stateless, cashless, moneyless society. Like, no, that's not called a society. That's saying you're going to live in a forest by yourself. And I know this is a fucking rant, and I know I'm just talking, but I need to just maybe talk this out loud. What happened with TYT, and I've said it, a lot of it is left-wing ostracization on certain parts, and they're getting apparently welcome to certain right-wing things, but it's left-wing ostracization. That's the sad part about it. It's never just like, it's always the vitriol first, and then it comes down to, well, let's just talk about it now. Motherfucker, you just literally talk bullshit about me for 30 minutes, for 20 minutes. And then when I snap back, then there's a problem. And it's the, I'm going to say it, it's the price of being the biggest. I'm not going to say in charge or the leader, but it's the price of being the biggest. Motherfuckers try to take you down because now I'm the biggest. And that's not absent on the left-wing platform. Look at the fight between Destiny Hassan and Vash. Look at that fight. And as much as you guys won't admit it, Destiny's on the left wing of shit. He is. Oh, he's a big meanie. He says nasty stuff. He talks about people badly. Grow the fuck up. People insult people all the time. It's not a left wing or a right wing thing to insult things. Your favorite boy, Hassan, insults people all the time in some nasty ways. The fact that he uses the term inbred when he's talking about Jewish people, that's a racist and derogatory term. I'm sorry. It is. You may not know the etymology behind them being called that way, but trust me, it's disgusting. And it's a fight between the three of them as a representations of what the left is. Hassan was kind of winning for a while, but the right will never accept Destiny, even though they accept his penis. I'm sorry. Like, people thought that was gonna get him down. Like, oh, he was screwing, Lauren Southern. He was, it's videotape of him and Nick Fuentes. Like, yeah. Have you met the man? He screws anything that's old enough to, consent. Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah. And that's just like Tuesday for him. But you seen so many people like, oh yeah, the allegations of him being gay. It's like, dude, he said it. Like, what are you talking about? But it's just like, you see all of this, trash, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it is more unique for people to literally push back a group, even if it's welcoming them, if their group that they are a part of ostracize them. You motherfuckers think you may have more character to actually say, "Nuh-uh, if the left ostracized me, I'm going to keep my leftist principles." Welcome to not being fucking human. And most of you motherfuckers are lying. Most of you motherfuckers aren't as different as some people who just don't care. They enjoy being right more than they enjoy being accepted. And that's the sad part about it. They would rather be accepted than liked. I mean, they'd be accepted and right. And that's what's going on. And the whole, they sold out. They're doing it for money. Every streamer, every channel that talk about how certain people sold out, if they are so principled, they will turn off every ounce of monetization that they actually do. The goal is to sell out. Not to give up your message, but the goal is to sell out. The goal is to reach as many people as you can, and what takes that is money. If you have a problem with that, go live in the woods. Make sure you go live on a little area where, you don't need to interact with people at all. Because if you do work, you would want to be paid for it. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. Have there been people that have been grifters that have said, "I'm leaving the left"? Yeah. But have there been people that have been actively pushed out by the left and found solace in other groups? That's also a thing. That's not grifting. That's trying to be accepted. And there are people that will put being accepted, not consciously, but they will put accepted over being right. Or they will change their mind on being right. What is that phrase? If you make somebody's job dependent on something, that they will believe it. I'm sorry. And I get it. We have a glut. A cornucopia of people that have went to the right for that mean green. But some people, they literally just find acceptance. They don't want to keep fighting. And as I said before, does that excuse what they've done or said? No. But it gives a reason behind it, not an excuse, a reason behind it. And it also sheds light on what we need to address. As a group of people, we need to address the male loneliness problem. We need to address the middle class economic issues. It's just as much as we need to address black people's issues, just as we need to address trans people's issues, gay people's issues, immigrant issues. We need to address this. Are we too weak to actually do it? Are we too weak to actually address it? Most of you guys who watch my channel have actually heard my 3 things that actually will help out black people. Those 3 things are Medicare for all with the mental health component. Notice I said all, not just for black people. Because I know it helps all. If we don't just say, "Oh, only the black people get this," and give it to all, then it's easier. It's easier for we all to keep it. Let the government buy your house for you. If you're living in a house now, then it's yours. Be it rented or owned or by mortgage, it's yours. And give people 50 grand or 100 grand to do improvements. Yeah, give that. And again, it helps out people who are living in the suburbs, who are mortgaging shit. It helps people who are living in the city and renting shit. It helps everybody. And it actually leads to them doing repairs, and that to make their living situation better. And it also leads to motherfucking like the economy, because people are spending money to actually do repairs on their fucking homes. And thirdly, a UBI. These things help out one specific group of people, yes, but by helping out everybody. But what about this particular group? What about that particular group? Shut the fuck up and take what's given to all. Either you want to be special or you want fucking revenge. And right now, to make the fucking country better, let's leave that shit on the cutting room floor. But too many people are caught up in their own pain, their own like suffering, where they need to make other people suffer, or need to make other people pay. Or how dare you not agree 100% with me? I said it before, earlier this train. If I can get you on empathy and a little bit of trust, then I got you on most of my programs. But anyway, this is a little rant. Like, share, and subscribe, and all that other shit. Leave a comment in the bottom if you want something else to say. All right. Let's do another video. Let's go ahead and do another video. So I wish I was monetized, because we about to do another Myron video. I know the meme is everybody's making videos off of, Fresh and Fit, and how, they are fueling people like Abba and Preach actually, Abba specifically, buying a home for his mama. We have the creator of our next video saying that he's making Christmas ducats off of these motherfuckers, but let's see this O'Shea Do Jackson video.
Let's say we did get banned and you guys couldn't find us anymore, or we just decided, we don't want to do a podcast anymore, whatever. My question is,
what? That would improve YouTube by at least 3%. All right, let's go.
Hey everybody, it's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. The presidential music. It's 2024 and Abba and Preach and Myron are still beefing. Not so much even Fresh anymore.
No, I have to say, like, as Abba and Preach said it, like, they said that they was gonna lap us. 2 years ago, they said they're gonna lap us. They're not even the same race as us anymore. All right, let's go.
He doesn't have anything to say about it. In fact, he's not even in the picture. It's really Abba and Preach versus Myron, not even Fresh and Fit. And of course, Abba and Preach are still standing tall. Now, at the point when they started beefing, probably we couldn't see this coming. Fresh and Fit and their podcast, and them being in America, gave them every opportunity to really pass Abba and Preach. And for a while, they were going to do that. They just had too many things going their way. They had the studio, they had the podcast, they had the models.
Yeah, you know what's funny is Abba and Preach has been recording in that same apartment room with the squeaky flow. They even have Abba, Preach, and the floor. And it's just like, what was Myron? He's like, and you guys been recording for years off that same Rode microphone? Like, yeah, they went from the journey of being two Canadian comedians to dabbling in a red pill to like, forget the red pill because it's stupid. I have seen no lie. Like, what's funny is that you know, you guys know I have videos on the channel. I haven't hit the fact that, you know, on this channel, like, they have been on some red pill shit before or close to it. And it's just like, I called them out for their bullshit. I called them out when I gave them the leeway when they are, you know, right about the shit. But it's like, I called them out on their bullshit. Like, you know, this channel is a left-leaning, left-wing channel. But I give people the right when they say right stuff. But I also call BS when people do BS stuff. But it's just interesting that you get to a point when you be like, I'm not even gonna try. Like, why should I care as long as somebody isn't hurting themselves? And, you know, if that's what you are, cool, I can work with that. But let's continue.
And they had everything that they needed. They were in Miami, and they had the industry and everybody dealing with them. There would be no way possible for Abba and Preach to keep up with all of those things. Except they made a crucial mistake. They decided to go to war with Abba and Preach, which wasn't a good idea. Abba and Preach are just way too tactical and way smarter than them, even though Fresh and Fit were in Miami and they had more equipment and they had...
How did Myron go from balding to budding? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, let's go.
A better situation, and actually, in my honest opinion, a higher ceiling than Abba and Preach. Abba and Preach is a commentary channel, but those channels can typically only go so far, whereas the guys who are in the podcast game have unlimited growth potential. But then it happened. Myron Gaines pretty much destroyed Fresh and Fit.
Exactly. Because he wanted to go and prove that he's better than them niggas. I am better than you. That's why nobody rocked you. Not your parents, not nobody in your family. You atheist. You. I'm sorry. It's funny. I'm gonna say it 10 toes down. All right.
His ego and his bad decisions destroyed the business that he built. And now Abba and Preach are thrown in his face.
He's only talking like this after he got demonetized on YouTube, after he got demonetized on Twitch, and now all the platforms that are popular for him, he's been removed from. It's not really brave anymore, bro. You just look goofy. That's it. And it's fine. I'm enjoying this, right? Because y'all were supposed to lap us. Y'all not even in the race no more. I barely see you guys unless I go on Reddit and people are making fun of you. YouTube, their been dead.
But Myron is not done beefing. He knows it's over, but he still has a question that he wants to ask Abba and Preach in the audience.
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's say we did get banned and you guys couldn't find us anymore. Or we just decided, you know, we don't want to do a podcast anymore, whatever.
Man, he's sipping on that caffeine, boy. I know I got to speed up, but he acting like it ain't just in caffeine in that more. Oh, God. Let's go.
My question is, would our haters fill the void and help you guys? That's what you really got to ask yourself. The people that make hit pieces and talk about us every single day and pray on our downfall, would they step up and actually help you guys?
So here's the thing, and I'm going to say this as somebody who talks on the internet. If I'm your model, as somebody on the internet, not because you know me personally, as somebody on the internet, as your model of manhood and masculinity, I don't care if I was, you know, Apollo Creed out here. I don't care if I was the most masculine Arnold Schwarzenegger on here. I should never be your example of masculinity. I don't care if you're fatherless, you had like 3 fathers, like, you know, the coordinator said that he had. I just, like, nobody on TV should be your example of masculinity. Your example of masculinity should be who you believe you are. You shouldn't actually just come and say, oh, this guy made money, so he must be masculine. The fuck? This guy works out 5 times a day, and you can barely see the steroid needle marks. No, you shouldn't. That shouldn't be a thing. And especially these poor example of men. One is closeted, so he doesn't even have the courage to be who he wants to be. And the other one just like shoots up the club because reasons. And I don't mean an actual club. He just go and bust in every type of way.
So there you heard it. If we get kicked off of all the platforms, which is highly likely, who will replace Fresh and Fit? It's a pretty good question. Who would replace?
And then there's a dime a dozen of them. Like, there are literally a dime a dozen of these alpha male podcasts. It's not a lack of one. It's like not a lack of, you know, it's a glut of you know, people that will fill in your shoes, dog. You just were the biggest at one time. Not anymore. Whatever podcast got you beat. How does he go from balding to budding? Like, for real, man. Like, this is before the hip transplants, right?
He then describes several things that they do that Abba and Preach don't.
You've had a prostate orgasm?
Yeah. Would they help you with getting real estate?
The motherfucking, in Abba's even said it, the motherfucking place that he, you know, they record from is his motherfucking Airbnb that he has.
Would they help you with cryptocurrency?
Nobody should be helping anybody with cryptocurrency. We know the bottom fell out of that market and is currently sitting between hell and the fucking Hades. Like, the fuck? We know. It's in the underworld, dog.
Would they help you with being more attractive and getting girls and being able to find a girl that you want to take seriously or want to marry one day?
It was intense.
It wasn't another level?
To me, it wasn't more intense than the level 2 I get from a really good blowjob.
Would they teach you about getting in?
So, his counter to actually saying he won't help you get women is him describing what a woman did to him, she really wanted to do to him. Like, I don't think that's the flex that you think it is, dog. He is literally describing how a woman wanted to please him so good that she made him enjoy himself. I know, Myron, you may actually see a woman actually liking you and wanting you and getting you to explode as a bad thing because you wish it was a man. I mean, you did say that was easier for you to smash a dude, right?
In shape and being fit.
Now, he shows Preach, who is a freaking dance teacher. You gotta be a little fit in order to be able to be a dance teacher. And you know how he actually is a fighter, a trained fighter, you know, because you kind of backed out of that confrontation. I mean, like, yeah, dude's in a heavyweight class, but he also can probably dance circles around you, dog.
Here are some of the things that Fresh and Fit do that Abba and Preach don't do, okay? Now, before I kind of get into these particulars, Myron is pretty much trying to say that, hey, we are the ones giving you the information on this because nobody else in the world is giving you the information on this. Let's talk about real estate. Now, Myron
has trashy apartment. They actually, who was that Duke the Don that actually showed Myron's like real estate? Oh, it is not well. But let's see.
Says he owns $11 million worth of real estate. And it's because of Fresh and Fit podcast, young men know how to do real estate. So Abba and Preach won't help you do real estate because Fresh and Fit will help you learn how to do real estate.
Now, mind you, I haven't seen this video. But don't they have like tons of real estate videos on YouTube? I was literally watching a chick today that she's an entrepreneur because she got into real estate. Isn't that a thing that you can find everywhere else on YouTube?
First of all, you need to be qualified to buy real estate. You need to have a high credit score. And then also to buy real estate, it's a long process. There's many different things you can do in real estate. You can be in the loan side of the business. You can be in the fixer upper side of the business. You can be in the landlord side of the business. You can be in the resale or wholesale market. You can be in residential or commercial. So which kind of real estate can you be in? And obviously, Myron may have some success in real estate. All you need to do is go to somebody qualified.
He's in Florida. He's in Miami. If you're trash, if you're not making any kind of money in real estate in Miami, where home prices is as high as they are, and quite frankly, a lot of buildings don't meet code, especially the high rises, then you're just trash. A 5-year-old can trip over decisions in real estate and make money in Miami, Florida. I'm sorry. That's not a market that is designed to fail, especially with the lax rules that buildings still aren't making a code.
In your city and state, and that's something else. Real estate is different depending on what city and state that you're in.
Exactly.
If you really want to learn real estate, you wouldn't learn it from Fresh and Fit. You would go to a podcast like Bigger Pockets. Now, shout out to Bigger Pockets Podcast. They never paid me any money. They don't even know I exist. But for sure, I know they are the biggest real estate influencer podcast in North America, and they've done a great job. And they cover so many value chains of real estate that it's not even funny. So I would not need to go to Fresh and Fit to learn real estate investing when these guys have every part of the value chain in a complex thing like real estate maxed out. And again, it would also depend if you're a contractor. It also depends on what state you're in. I would go to somebody like Bigger Pockets over Fresh and Fit. The next thing is cryptocurrency. Now, I hate to say this. A lot of guys have got into this red pill cryptocurrency grift.
And it's a grift. And I call it out. And you had Jay-Z, oh my God, trying to do a cryptocurrency class. We just had the Hawk Tua girl that just did a rug pull. Cryptocurrency is not a stable. You know what cryptocurrency is? It's the new version of stock market. And the stock market, for all intents and purposes, and I know a little bit about it, and I don't know everything that have been created to but it's this. It's the guess that in the future, what you bought is going to be worth more than what it is now. That's it. That's it. That's all it is. That part of a company that you bought, that part of the U.S. debt that you bought, is going to be worth more in the future than what it is now. You don't know how magically. Well, we do know how. It's you trying to get other people to believe that so you can make more money when you sell your share of what's there. Like, that's what the stock market is, and I know I'm sound like I'm oversimplifying it, and I am to a huge degree. But the stock market is just, well, it's going to be worth more later. And that's all cryptocurrency is. It's not based on a company. It's not based on a debt. It is based on I'm about to say company, a made up entity, but companies are made up. It's based on a specific token being worth more later than it is now. And the thing about it, even the most popular ones, the value of those items has just been gone already. People that make the most money are already gone and sold their portion of that cryptocurrency. It is a Ponzi scheme. Technically, it's not, but it is the principle of a Ponzi scheme, a multi-level marketing. And there are people who made money off of it, got it, and gone out of it. But it is still something that is hoping that they get new suckers to replace the old ones. Well, let's continue.
One of the reasons why a lot of guys in the manosphere do it is because cryptocurrency is not regulated. But hey, I was kind of wrong about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing pretty good. So yes, I had to eat my words. But hey, I'm not a person out here talking against Bitcoin or pushing Bitcoin. I don't really understand cryptocurrency. But guess what? Neither does Fresh and Fit. They are not cryptocurrency experts. All right. For example, I'm a customer with Fidelity. If I wanted to buy some Bitcoin, because now Bitcoin can be bought by any of the major financial investor houses like Fidelity or Vanguard, Merrill Lynch, I could buy this, the FBTC fund. Okay. If I knew nothing about Bitcoin.
Exactly. You can literally go to an investment bank and say, hey, we need investments. Stocks, the same thing. You don't need somebody on YouTube who hasn't studied the freaking loopholes and every intricacies of cryptocurrency. You can go to the people that are literally making the laws, because a lot of it is unregulated, to make sure they can get away with making as much money as they can. I'm going to YouTubers? No. I'm going to go to the people that are... I'm going to go to YouTubers about getting cookies out the cookie jar. No. I'm going to go to the people who stealing from the cookie jar and making it stealing legal, to be able to say like, hey, why are you stealing out there? You can give me some cookies too. But let's go.
It's a Bitcoin fund. I can buy some exposure to that, put it into my retirement fund, or put it into my account. Or what I could do is I could call Kraken or anybody who does this as a financial advisor in any regulated bank or investing institution like Fidelity, like Vanguard, like Merrill Lynch, like Charles Schwab, and I can get a financial investor to help me for free or becoming a customer, and I can get exposure to any cryptocurrency that I wanted to invest in. I don't need a red pill podcast that talks trash about women all day who are not experts in this or Bitcoin advice. I'm sorry, I just wouldn't need it and nobody else would need it. So while we appreciate the fact that you might talk about Bitcoins, there are actually people who are better than you that talk about Bitcoin. The next thing he says, that Abba and Preach can't help you when it comes to dating. First of all, we don't really watch Abba and Preach for dating, okay? We watch Abba and Preach for commentary. And guess what? We don't watch Fresh and Fit for dating either. We watch Fresh...
But they don't. They watch Fresh and Fits. Most of the red pill dudes watch Fresh and Fits, especially when the women come on, to actually know whose OnlyFans page to subscribe to. To be honest with you, that's the reason why. I hate this whore. I'm gonna hate her so much by throwing her money. Like, all right, let's go.
Fit for the effery and for the asshattery that's going to happen on the show. The reason why is because both of you guys have been exposed being hypocrites multiple times. Fresh, you're out there dealing with porn stars.
I mean, like, she may have a BBL, Becky.
And, Asian baby mamas are getting pregnant without wearing a condom. And Myron, you're getting caught with the same allegations. Remember that lady, Miss Cheeks, who was an OnlyFans model? You're doing the same thing, sleeping with OnlyFans girls and then telling them you're going to help grow their platform just so you can get cheeks. And obviously, you guys don't know anything about women. Just look at how you get turned down by them when you're basically in people's inboxes. I've already exposed that. You try to basically get a chick to let you clap cheeks to come on the podcast. That's no...
I mean, like, I damn, I can't say that. That's telling on myself. Let's just say that that I have had female friends that we may have engaged in some bedroom gymnastics. That I was like, hey, you want to come on and have a conversation? But that's only after we've already clapped. I'm not saying that anybody on the show has been. Anybody on the channel has been somebody that I've slept with, and I mean, like, there's a reason why I had some streams that called Naked Podcast, but that's a different story. That's a different story.
Game at all. So nobody needs to take any kind of dating advice from you because you guys don't get women like that. The only way you guys get women like that, unless you're getting them drunk on their show and clapping cheeks later, or you're paying for it. So the world would be much better without Fresh and Fit giving dating advice. And the last thing is getting in shape. Now, he said other things, but basically he's trying to say Abba and Preach can't help you when it comes to getting in shape. Well,
wait. Abba look a little yoked. Like he don't look like he look like he go to the gym. All right, let's go.
Hey, it's true that Myron does work out, but unfortunately, there are very many other people that work out. There are tons of trainers on the internet. You can get one at almost every gym. 24-Hour Fitness, LA Fitness. There are guys that are even in more shape than Myron. So, like, you don't.
And shout out to our resident editor, Wajita, who is a personal trainer. I don't know if he's still doing it, but, shout out to him.
Need people to help you get in shape. You don't need to listen to Fresh and Fit. These guys are not your end all be all on the podcast, but this is exactly what they want you to believe. You can go to any forum, any muscle and fitness magazine, and find out plenty of ways in any country in the English language that you can find how to stay in shape and how to build muscle and all of that. That stuff is very, 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 very available. But the issue with Myron and Fresh and Fit, these guys want to act like they're the only people with this information. And whenever you have to talk like that, you're pretty much letting the
They're not even the only people with the information that puts it all together that way. Let's go.
World know that you don't have a lot of value. There's nothing that you really specialize in that can help you grow or that you can give somebody. You really can't give anybody anything, and the only reason why you're saying that is because you want to be more powerful than what you really are. And if you wanted to be that powerful, then you would have never got demonetized. You wouldn't have never got kicked off all these platforms, but you did. And so now you're trying to say that Abba and Preach will take your place or they won't take your place, when really that's not on trial here. A whole bunch of people can take your place. And the reason why is we will all live and die. I remember Michael Jordan was the greatest player the NBA has ever seen, and he retired. And guess what? NBA ratings didn't stay down. They actually got up because we got Kobe Bryant and we got Kevin Durant and we got LeBron James. And now there's new guys coming into the league. There was Steph Curry and Chris Paul. And now we're talking about new guys in the game that are doing great now. And guess what? The game is going to continue to develop even though these great players have to retire. And you're not even a great player. So you're easily going to be replaced. And you're not that important, pal. And
Wow, that's just sad. Like, he's just reading a riot act. It's just sad, man. Okay, all right, let's go.
Believe that YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok have already shown you that. So, guys, what do you think your boy else should do, Jackson?
All right, yeah. Well, it's just like, yeah, no. What's gonna happen if we go? YouTube would be better. Twitch would be better. Like, I don't know what to tell you, Myron. I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, like, share, and subscribe. And we're gonna cut this video segment here. Don't forget to leave the comment and hit that notification bell. All right. So, I don't think I'm gonna call it a day. I was gonna do more videos, but I'm kind of hungry and I ate breakfast early this morning, and so I want to actually save that for later. We're gonna save it for later, and then yeah. Anyway, guys, I want to say thank you for watching. Hell, I may actually even do a Gamer Street stream later on. Thank you for watching, and yeah, take us away, Richard.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah, they're probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other. Then people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm going to use this.
Right. Absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry, But, and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but...
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, it just gets on you and it starts
eating. The system levels them.
Pretty soon it's all gone.
Is that what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes.